Welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Here I am back after all the plantings that I showed you in the previous video are in the ground now. It's a couple days later. Got the blueberries here and the gooseberry, so hopefully they'll like this nice sunny spot. And today I'm just going to be doing a quick kind of run through cleaning up and mowing the grass for the first time for the spring. It's kind of already out of control, so we're going to mow that down. I've done previous videos before about mowing the lawn. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it at the end. Check that out. I really encourage everybody to do the same. Basically, don't you know, bag your lawn clippings. That's my message in that video, but I get into why. So check that out. And what I'm going to also do is clean up a lot of these you know, remnants of weeds and the butternut squash that grew here last year, and just kind of, you know, clean everything up. But really, you know, I'm not even focused on cleaning it up because I don't mind that it's a little bit messy, but I just want to mow down the grass so it doesn't get too tall and too uncontrollable. And I'm going to clean up some of this area here. And then the main thing that I want to accomplish today is basically you know, cleaning up the raspberry bushes here. I'm going to show you guys a little bit some of the information I've been learning about raspberries and the different kinds that exist and how to prune them. But you can see that, you know, there's basically a lot of the old growth that's you know, that's died out. This is just completely dried right here. These canes need to come out. They're just going to be blocking the airflow and the sun and not allowing the nice new growth. You know, the space, like you can see the ones back there that have you know, shoots already coming off of them. You want to make sure that those have enough space and sunlight, and these old ones are just getting in the way, so these have to come out. And I should have actually pruned these a lot sooner. I just have not had time. So I'm going to come in here and you know, basically prune them right at the bottom, just cut them right out at like ground level, and clean up a lot of the stinging nettle and stuff that's in here as well. I've talked about this in previous videos too. Stinging nettle is actually very beneficial, and it's a good plant. You can actually eat these, especially when the shoots are new. So like this, you know, when they're older, these little barbs at the bottom become very prickly, and you know, they sting you. Hence the name. But when they're small like this, you can eat them. Kind of a little bit reminiscent of like I don't even know, like I don't really want to say spinach, but I guess it's like the closest thing I can think of. You can throw these in salads or cook them. People make teas out of them, all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to try to cut back some of these because I have plenty growing in other areas of the yard, and I want to just leave this area for raspberries. So let's get to work. For the noise, we got some yard work going on nearby. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the raspberries from my brother. So those are there. And my wife actually ended up cleaning out the dead raspberry canes from here, and I just did the mowing for most of the yard. I'm gonna have to come back some other time to finish it, but looking a lot better. Obviously, you know, a few places are kind of yellowed out just because of how tall the grass was, but it'll be fine. You know, just like another good rainfall on them, and then that'll be the end of it. So I think we're getting a bit of wind here. Hopefully that's not going to be too bad. Just wanted to show you guys that, and then yeah, I'm going to talk to you guys about the raspberry canes. So I just wanted to quickly cover a few things about raspberries. I learned about most of these topics actually from watching James Prigione's channel. I definitely recommend him to anybody if you're into gardening. I've talked about his channel a little bit before in previous videos, but basically, you know, I just wanted to cover some of the stuff from this website. I'll put a link in the description. There are different kinds of raspberries, and you have to prune them differently depending on which one you have. So this website really kind of covers them really well. There are, you know, basically the main differences as far as I can see is there are what are called fall-bearing raspberries, and as it says here, they're also called primocane fruiting raspberries. They're able to initiate flowers during the first year. What this means is that basically the raspberry you know, stalk or cane will start growing up and out of the ground, and basically it will produce flowers and fruit the first year. So when they've produced fruit in the fall time you can come through and just basically, you know, prune them all the way back to the ground, and the next year they'll just come up and produce fruit again. But not every raspberry is like this, and some of them are called summer bearing, which those differ in that they basically have what are called primocanes and fluorocanes. And basically, as it says here in the picture, the primocanes are the green ones, so those are the first year growths, and then the fluorocanes are the darker ones, which means that they've gone through a whole you know, growing cycle, and then the next year is when they produce flowers. So this is a little bit you know, more tricky, because when you're going in to prune these, you absolutely don't want to prune the ones that are, you know, just going to be producing the fruit the next year. So you only want to prune the dead ones, as I showed in my video. And it's just a little bit, you know, tricky to kind of understand it, but once you see it laid out like this, then I think it makes it, you know, really simple and easy to understand. And here they actually go through a number of the different cultivars and tell you which ones are which. So if you know the one that you're buying, like if you're buying new ones from a store, or if somebody's giving you one, you can, you know, check the different cultivars and find out whether they're a fluorocane or primocane. And then they give you tips about, you know, which zones they're good for, how well they handle freezing, and, you know, some basic descriptions. So different kinds, different colors, you know, really pretty useful information. And they tell you about watering and when to prune, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So definitely check out this website if you're gonna you know, do your own. I love raspberries, so I mean, for me, it's definitely very helpful, and I hope to get a good crop this year. One thing that I think I need to do a little bit more research on is actually how much I should maybe thin the raspberries out, because I think we might have too many in a small area. Right now they're just kind of all bunched together, as you see, so we'll see if you know, I might have to thin some more out. But I think also one of the things that people worry about is that you get this kind of like you know, disease if there isn't enough airflow or sun you know, hitting them. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that, but maybe I'll thin out, you know, some of the stuff. And as I still need to do a bunch of more yard work on the other side of the yard, once that's all done with the work that I want to do there, I definitely intend to move some of the raspberries to the other side, but that's going to be for another day and another video. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you guys that, and hopefully that's useful to you. Thanks. With a special treat here, my wife planted some flowers near the tulips. They're ready to start flowering and budding, so looking pretty nice there. And we got some flowers from my mom, and just wanted to plant those too, so my wife planted those. We're going to plant some more stuff here too, and I'm going to get rid of the gravel behind, and, you know, fix up that spot as well. So lots more to come. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned if you want to see the next steps.